Imagine yourself on a dark and turbulent sea. Your fleet advances under a moonless sky, confident in its size and strength. Suddenly, a storm of fire descends from the horizon. The flames strike the ships with brutal force, but the most terrifying thing is, the fire doesn't go out. Instead, it burns even more fiercely on the water. In that moment, you realize you are facing something never seen before: Greek fire, one of the most destructive and mysterious weapons ever created. Let's go back to the 7th century, to the heart of the Byzantine Empire. Constantinople, the jewel of the empire, was surrounded by enemies, both by land and sea. But the Byzantines had a deadly secret, a substance that could burn in any condition, even on water. This was their greatest trump card in naval battles, something that allowed them to defend their city for centuries. Greek fire. But how did this strange fire work? According to historians, it was developed by a Syrian engineer named Kallinikos of Heliopolis. This man, who sought refuge in Constantinople after the Arab invasion of his homeland, brought with him knowledge that would forever change naval warfare. Using a deadly combination of flammable substances, Kallinikos created a secret recipe that the Byzantines knew how to guard jealously. While the exact formula has been lost, experts believe it was made up of crude oil, pine resin, sulfur, and possibly potassium nitrate or quicklime. When these ingredients were combined in a specific way, they produced a substance that not only burned fiercely but did so in conditions where any other fire would have been extinguished. But the key to Greek fire wasn't just its composition, it was the way it was used. The Byzantines developed a unique technique to project this fire, installing bronze tubes, known as siphons, on the bows of their ships. These siphons allowed them to launch the fire onto their enemies like a primitive flamethrower, something that, in the 7th century, must have seemed like black magic. Imagine the desperation of the enemy. You're sailing into battle when suddenly a column of fire erupts from the Byzantine ships. You try to maneuver, to throw water onto the flames, but instead of extinguishing, the fire grows even fiercer. It's a terrifying sight. Greek fire wasn't just a weapon of mass destruction, it was a psychological tool. Accounts from the time speak of the terror it inspired in enemies. They knew that when facing the Byzantine fleet, they weren't just fighting soldiers, they were battling a power that seemed supernatural. For centuries, Greek fire was carefully guarded as one of the Byzantine Empire's most closely held secrets. Only a few selected individuals knew the details of its creation, and the penalty for revealing this formula was death. Preserving it became a matter of state. One of the most critical moments where Greek fire changed the course of history was during the siege of Constantinople in the year 717. The Byzantine Empire, under siege by the Umayyad Caliphate, seemed doomed to fall. Muslim forces surrounded the city by land and sea, ready to deliver the final blow. But then, the Byzantines unleashed their secret weapon. Greek fire was used in naval engagements, creating hell on the water. Chronicles from the time tell of the enemy fleet being destroyed, with ships burning as if they had been struck by the wrath of the gods. The terror Greek fire caused was so great that many enemies preferred to flee rather than face it. But what happened to this incredible weapon? Why was the formula lost? Like many ancient secrets, the knowledge of Greek fire faded with time. The Byzantine Empire suffered many defeats, and with them, its secrets gradually slipped into oblivion. Today, scientists and historians are still trying to unravel how this hellish substance was made. In modern times, numerous experiments have been conducted to try and recreate Greek fire. Tests have been done with crude oil, resins, and various chemical mixtures, but to this day, no one has been able to replicate its exact function. Some theories suggest that a key component was quicklime, which reacts violently upon contact with water, but the true method of how the Byzantines controlled this substance remains a mystery. What we do know for certain is that Greek fire was crucial to the survival of the Byzantine Empire. In multiple battles, this weapon became the difference between victory and total destruction. Its widespread use allowed the empire to withstand attacks for centuries, but like all empires, the Byzantine Empire also came to an end. In 1453, when Constantinople fell to the Ottomans, Greek fire had long disappeared. Its secrets were lost to the tides of time, and all that remains are the astonishing accounts that have survived to this day. Greek fire wasn't just a tool of war, it was a symbol of human ingenuity and destructive power, a legacy from a bygone era that still ignites our minds with mystery and fascination. What other lost secrets might be hidden in the sands of time? Subscribe to keep exploring the most astonishing mysteries of history and don't miss our next journey into the unknown.